Hello everyone, this is Rimple here. In this video, I am going to continue the Darshana Shastras. In the previous video, we only saw the names and the classifications. In this video, I am going to give you gist or little bit of understanding of each and every Shastras. Once you understand, it becomes very easy to remember. So to begin with, I am going to give you a summary. Astika and Nastika Darshanas. Astika has 6 darshanas. Sankhya and Yoga, I told you to remember it together. Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they go hand in hand. Purva mimamsa, Uttar mimamsa. Nastika. In Nastika, you have Jainism, Buddhism, and Charvaka. If you divide Buddhism, the sub-schools Madhyamika, Yogachara, Vaisheshika, Sautrantika. These 4 plus Jainism and Charvaka, they become your 6 schools of Nastika. Now let us see only the Astika darshanas first. I am going to take the first pair, Sankhya and Yoga. See, Sankhya means number. Enumeration, it means mentioning number of things one by one. This was a system founded by sage Kapila. And in Sankhya, you speak of dualism. What is the dualism that you speak of? Purusha and Prakriti. You must have heard about these 2 words earlier. They are very familiar. Purusha and Prakriti. So let us understand what do they mean. What is Purusha? It means it is a soul or a consciousness. What is Prakriti? It is a matter or nature. Now, let's understand one thing, that here Purusha is the one that identifies itself with the Prakriti, matter. It is not the other way around. Prakriti doesn't identify itself with the Purusha. Now let me give you an example. As I said, Purusha is a soul or a consciousness. So let's take an individual soul. Individual souls are you and me, all the people in the world. They are individual consciousness. Then what is Prakriti? Let's take an example of a car. A car is a matter. Car, house, body, pen, pencil, table, television, everything that you own is a matter. So let's take an example of the car. Now you will be sad. You have just bought the car. It is a new, and someone scratches on your car. You will be very attached to that car. You will be taking very care of that car. And if somebody scratches, you are going to get angry. You have an attachment towards that car. Now, same car, after 10 years, is giving you a problem. Will you have an attachment to that car? No. Now, your car is the Prakriti. The car doesn't have an attachment to you. It doesn't matter if it is somebody scratches its body or not. It doesn't matter to the car. Car has no attachment to the owner. Today it is with you. If you have to sell the car, for any reason, you will be sad that you have to sell your favorite car. But car is not going to be sad. It doesn't matter who owns the car or who runs the car. So car has no attachment to you. You have the attachment to the car. So that is when you are the Purusha and car is the Prakriti. This is what Sankhya Darshan will teach you in the gist. It speaks of these 2 dualism. Now, to supplement this, there is Yoga Darshana, which is Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and of course there are other yogas also, but we are specifically talking about the Ashtanga Yoga, 8-fold points of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Now in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, you must have heard this, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Now why are we saying this? How do you identify yourself with your car, or how does Purusha identifies itself with the Prakriti? With the help of senses and mind. Your mind tells you, this is my car. You have an attachment to your mind and your senses. So So when you say yoga chitta vritti nirodha, it is a practical method of removing the fluctuations of your mind. The yoga is calming your mind to the zero state or total tranquility where you can experience life as it is. There is no attachment, there is no detachment. There is no aversion to anything, there is no attraction to anything. It is, you are experiencing things as it is. So this is yoga chitta vritti nirodha. The yoga, as I said, it is removing the fluctuations of your mind or stilling your mind. Now yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yug, which means to unite. And the yoga system provides a methodology, it is a methodology to unite individual consciousness with the higher consciousness. So ashtanga yoga is one of the practical application of the Sankhya Darshana. Now, there are other schools of yoga also, and you must have heard of them, especially those who have read Bhagavad Gita or those who have heard about these yogas through Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti yoga, karma yoga, and jnana yoga. So now we come to the Nyaya and Vaisheshika. Now what is Nyaya? See, Nyaya literally means that which the mind is led to a conclusion. We are led to a conclusion by reason and by argument, or when you are doing any kind of a step-by-step methodology, research, anything. A popular usage of the word Nyaya means right, justice, judgment. It has come to mean the science of correct reasoning. You can call it as an Indian system of logic and reasoning. And let me also share, these schools of Hinduism, the Astika and Nastika Darshanas, are also the basis of many foreign universities in teaching logic and scientific methodology. Now, as per these Nyaya Darshan, there are 4 methods of gaining knowledge, or pramana. It is called pramana, or you can say evidences or knowledge, whatever you want to say. One is pratyaksha, direct perception. It's your direct knowledge. Inference, anumana. Inference, you already know. You are just trying to guess. You are trying to infer something based on the data that you have. Comparison and analogy, upamana. Verbal knowledge or testimony is called as shabda. Now the word over here, testimony, which means it is coming from a reliable source or reliable experts of past and present, not everybody's opinion. Okay. In everyday experience, if you see, you use one or a combination of all these 4 methods to gain knowledge. You are having a direct experience, you are just guessing, you are comparing, or you are hearing it from somebody or reading from somewhere. You are getting in touch with the words. So this is the system of Nyaya. Now we come to the Vaisheshika. See, Vaisheshika comes from the word Vishesha, which means particularity. It means, you can also say, a speciality. Just like, when you have a doctor who is a general physician, and then you have a what do you call that? Specialist, eye specialist, heart specialist. We are going a little deeper into a particular topic. So Vishesha or Vaisheshika Darshan goes into particularity. Now strangely, it is more older than the Nyaya Darshana. See, it was founded by Rishi Kannada, around 600 to 300 BC, anywhere between 600 to 300, nobody knows the exact date. And it emphasizes on the theory of particulars. See, when I said particulars or speciality, it means it will accept. When you say, you have written, thus is pluralistic in its view. The pluralistic means you are being flexible in terms of, you accept one or more principles or states or sources of authority together. See, any schools have one particular belief and they stick to that. But in Vaisheshika, multiple principles and authorities and systems come together and they coexist. So this is the meaning of the word pluralistic. Now earlier, those who have heard about atomic theory, it was Rishi Kannada who gave the atomic theory 2600 years even before the modern science. Now what happened, this is, I've taken this paragraph from the Oxford University paper. It says that the atomic theory of the universe and consequently does not mention the word God. Originally, it does not mention the word God, but later the commentators felt that atoms by themselves could not have created an orderly universe. They postulated a God regulating the activities of the atom. So originally, there is no mention of the word God, but commentators added that such a wonderful, mysterious thing cannot be created on its own. There must be something that is regulating these atoms. As I said, Rishi Kannada founded the atomic theory between 600 to 200 BC, almost 2,500 years before the modern science did. See, Nyaya, as I said, Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they are allied to each other. One supplements the other because both are associated with research methodology, logical conclusion, coming to a logical conclusion. So Nyaya speaks of 4 methods, Vaisheshika speaks of 6 methods. Kannada's system speaks that there are 6 properties, knowing which, using those 6 properties, you can describe anything and everything in this universe, including the observers. So here the 6 categories are dravya, substance, guna, quality, karmana, motion, samaya, time, vishesha, particular, samavaya, inherence. See, we are not going to go into the details, but you need to understand the gist. And each and every topic of these points, they can actually become an entire subject. Like gunas, if those who have read Bhagavad Gita, it also speaks of gunas, motion, dravya. Dravya is matter, substance. All of these are very heavy topics, and they can take, each and every topic can be explained in multiple books. So I'm going to stop over here for Vaisheshika. I'm not going to explain it further. As I said, in one Oxford University paper, it says that it is important to understand the tenor of the Vaisheshika system is really the beginnings of the scientific method. So it is through this system that these scientific methodology came into picture. Now I'm coming to the last slide for Nyaya and Vaisheshika. See, on the right hand side you can see the picture. It says the laws of the motion, which were given by Newton in the 16th century, and here you have the laws of the motion given by Rishi Kannada somewhere between 6th century BC to 2nd century BC. Here we are talking about AD and BC, almost 2000. There is a difference of 2000 years between these. Okay, 2000, 2500, 600. You can calculate. The first, and you can pause the screen and you can go through these laws of motion and the Sanskrit text. Now, Nyaya Darshan is based on that, you don't desire this world. There is no need to study the world. It is only about divinity. Only there is one thing that is desirable and knowable. Vaisheshika, in turn, it says, which you will agree, you can even agree with what Einstein said, it is the same thing. There is no creation or annihilation, but rather an orderly and morally systemized composition and decomposition of matter. You must remember, you may know that Albert Einstein said that energy neither can be created nor it can be destroyed. But there's a systematical composition and decomposition. And then again there's a cycle of then again there's composition. You are not creating, it just changes the form. This is about Nyaya and Vaisheshika. Now we are coming to the Purva mimamsa and Uttar mimamsa. In my previous video, I have spoken about how Vedas are divided into 4 parts. The first three parts are Samhitas, Brahmanas and Atmas. Now these 3 parts are called as the Purva mimamsas, and they are also called as the Karma Kandas. So if anybody says what is Purva mimamsa or Karma Kandas, you can straight away say these 3 parts of the Vedas. Then these 3 parts are about the outer world and the outer self. You can see my video Introduction to Upanishads episode 1 to understand this part in detail. Then we come to the Upanishads. Now Upanishads are called as the Uttar mimamsa. Other words for Upanishads and Uttar mimamsa are Vedanta and Jnana Kandas. If anyone says what is Jnana Kanda, Upanishads are the Jnana Kanda. What is Vedanta? Upanishads are Vedanta. What is Uttar mimamsa? Upanishads are Uttar mimamsa. And these are about the inner self, inner world, your inner universe. Now we are coming to the Nastika Darshana. See, Nastika, as I said, Charvaka and Jaina, these 2. Then in Buddhism, we are talking about Mahayana, Hinayana. Madhyamika and Yogachara are part of Mahayana. Sautrantika and Vaisheshika are part of the Hinayana. When I take these 6, the 4 sub-schools of Buddhism and Charvaka and Jainism, you get these 6 schools of Nastika Darshan. Otherwise, you can also say 3, Charvaka, Jainism and Buddhism. However you want to divide. So first we are going to see about Charvaka and Jaina. The Charvaka is very, at least I find it very unique. I heard the saying in Charvaka, it says, यार तुम उधार लेके भी घी पिए जाओ. This life is nothing. It doesn't mean there is no soul. There is nothing. You are going to dissolve in 5 elements at the end. Why take life so seriously? So just enjoy the life. This is the philosophy of the Charvaka. And Acharya Brihaspati is the founder of this Darshana. It was said that Charvaka was his disciple. There is not much known about this. But yes, Acharya Brihaspati is mentioned in Rig Veda. Now one more thing. Do not confuse Acharya Brihaspati as your Dev Guru Brihaspati, which we commonly also call as Guru or Jupiter. They are different. So this is a brief or gist about the Charvaka and what they believe. Now I am coming to Jainism. See, Jainism, I think this is one of the very, many people know about this, Jainism, so I am not going to go in detail. But I'll tell you where the word Jain comes from. Jain comes from the word Jina, which means conqueror. What kind of conqueror? Not the world, not like Alexander or something, but the one who has conquered the inner enemies, passions, senses and minds, desires. The one who has conquered the internal enemies is called the Jina in Jainism. And it believes that there is no individual soul. That is why when Mahavira came, he said there is no Jivatma, there is Paramatma. There is only higher consciousness. There is no individual consciousness. This is what Mahavira said. So now we are coming to, yes, there is more to Jainism, I forgot. See, according to Jainism, there are 3 jewels to gain perfect and complete knowledge, which can lead to the liberation or moksha of a living being. Now what are those? Right perception, samyak darshana. Right knowledge, samyak jnana. Right conduct, samyak charita. Now we come to the Buddhism. This is going to be little interesting. See, when Buddha died, there were difference of opinion. And there are difference of opinions in almost all the religions that we know. Even in Jainism, after Mahavira died, before Mahavira or during Mahavira, there was no Digambara and Shvetambara. After 150 200 years, Jainism, there was a difference of opinion between two groups of what do you call the Jain monks, and so they divided into Digambara and Shvetambara. Similarly, when Buddha died, there were difference of opinions. So they divided, the Buddhism got divided into two, Mahayana and Hinayana. And in Mahayana also again there were difference of opinions. So they divided into Madhyamika and Yogachara. In Hinayana also there were again difference of opinions. So that again got divided into Sautrantika and Vaibhashika. So now what does that, we'll go through each of these. First let's understand the difference between Mahayana and Hinayana. The Mahayana, after Buddha died, the Mahayana monks of Buddhism, they spread mostly in the north region like China, Tibet, Japan, even South Korea. Hinayana, these people, Hinayana is also called as Theravada. Now these monks spread in the south, in the countries like Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos. Now in Mahayana, it is not as orthodox as Hinayana. It will accept or it will modify as per the times. The teachings will be modified as per the era we are living in. But in Hinayana, they strictly, rigidly follow the teachings of the Buddha as it is. Now, Mahayana, these originate, see, Buddhism originated in India. The original texts were written in Sanskrit. Later on, they were translated into Chinese and Tibetan languages. Hinayana are mostly written in Pali language. This is a difference between Mahayana and Hinayana. Now we will see the subdivisions of Mahayana and Hinayana. Madhyamika, as you can see, Shunyavad. What do you mean by Shunya? Void, empty. These people believe that life is empty and meaningless, and they reject every kind of religious and moral principles. That life is empty and meaningless, and what is the point of following all these moral principles? So they believe in emptiness. Then you have the Yogachara. See, these followers, that except for mind and spirits, that it means that nothing exists except your mind and spirits and their perceptions or ideas. So everything, existence of everything is seen as not different from the subject or the mind perceiving it. So like we say that you create your own reality. What you are seeing is your own creation. Because you have already perceived it in your mind, you are seeing it or experiencing it. So that is Yogachara, which is also called as the Vijnanavad, scientific. It is called Yogachara. See again, the one is theory part and another one is the practical part. Like in Sankhya Darshan, there was a Patanjali Yoga Sutra as a practical application. Here it is called as Yogachara because it also uses yoga as a practice to realize the essential nature of the truth. Now we come to the Sautrantika. The followers of this school, they accept the reality of the mind as well as the external reality. There's a difference. See here in the Yogachara, they are saying that whatever you see is coming from your mind, is your perception of your own ideas and thoughts. Whatever it is, reality of mind as well as the external reality, we are not different. We are accepting both as the way it is. Then the followers, then we are coming to the Vaibhashika. Vaibhashika says that soul is a transitory idea. Matter is nothing but momentary atoms of 5 elements. So principal teaching of this school is momentariness. Like there is only one moment now. And in this moment, we are there is only this moment. This is the following of the Vaibhashika. This is the teaching of the Vaibhashika. Here you can see nihilist, subjective idealist, critical realism, direct realism. These are the one word for the meanings that I've given. Nihilist means one who believe that life is empty and meaningless. So the one word meaning I've given you in yellow, then white, the text in the white are their explanations. So now this is the last part of the video. See, in Jainism I spoke about three jewels of Jainism. In Buddhism I spoke about in Buddhism there is also similar teaching of Buddha. Noble eightfold path. I'm sure many of you must have heard right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. In Jainism, it is right perception, right knowledge, right conduct. Other than that, the five teachings of Jainism are non-violence, ahimsa, truthfulness, satya, asatya, asetya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, chastity, aparigraha, non-attachment. Now remember this, I've given all the three teachings of Jainism in three jewels and Noble Eightfold Path over here. Those who read Patanjali Yoga Sutras, I want you to see, or even if you have not, just see this. There's similarities. 8 limbs of yoga, you call it ashtanga yoga. There is yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. The one that you see in the white color, yama and niyama, they have more 5 points. In yama, what do you mean by abstinences? You have to abstain yourself from these things. Ahimsa, non-harming, or non-violence. Satya, truthfulness. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, abstinence. Aparigraha, non-hoarding or non-attachment. Now you see the teachings of Jainism and these 5 abstinences of yama, they are exactly same. Now we come to the 8 limbs of yoga niyama. See what you need to observe: saucha, cleanliness, santosha, contentment, tapas, heat, swadhyaya, self-knowledge, Ishvara pranidhana, full surrender to the divine. So these are the 5 points of niyama, 5 points of yama, and other 1, 2, 3, 4 other 6 points. So if you understand the teachings of Buddhism and Jainism and Patanjali Yoga Sutras are same, exactly same. Teachings are same, language and vocabulary is different, words are little bit different, but they mean the same thing. So this is what, with this, I'm going to end the video, and I will definitely come with a new interesting video, and I'll keep thinking of new topics. If you have any topic suggestions, you can please you can just drop a comment. And I'm struggling with time to create these PowerPoints, so please expect delays in my YouTube videos. Thank you so much.